everyone, welcome to Officer 24/7. My name is Niharika Walia Bhatnagar and I am with you with the area of ABFM. Acha everyone, the victory series is going on. I hope you are doing well and you are absolutely fine and at the same time preparing well for the examination. You know, these are the few important things that we need to be sure about. Chaliye. Let's begin with the session, everyone. First of all, please share the session, like the session, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Acha, everyone. Uh, Acha, in the last session, we had talked about we have talked about AMT and MAT, na. So this was the question. So let's discuss this question first. What are the provisions of income tax that is allowed in terms of MAT paid on over the normal tax liability to be carried forward for a set off in future years? We're talking about setting it off in future years. 80G, 80U. The entire 80 section is for tax saving. While the next section, the sections of this 115 is related to the area of MAT. So in this case, it is actually 115 JAA. Chali. Let's look at the next topic there. I want to start a specific topic today that is related to the area of hybrid finance. Everyone, what do you mean by hybrid? Ever heard about hybrid? But a hybrid is basically a situation where we are looking at things on the basis where, how do I say it? Chali. But there was something called equity, there was something called debt. Two extreme corners. Either you use or your own money or the other person's money without any risk, without any trouble, if you're looking forward to. So hybrid finance is that kind of finance which is related to the area of um, making money. And in this case, we have equity as well as debt. You know? So equity is extreme owners funds, debt is extreme outsiders funds. But then they were like, I don't want to have that much of risk like equity. I don't want to have that much kind of stagnation like that. I want something which gives me returns, slight growth, and the ownership. And you are actually choosing the customization is being done, which part of equity you want, which part of debt you want. But be very clear about it. Which of the following is not considered a form of hybrid financing? Preference capital, convertible debentures, corporate bonds, or warrants. Which of the following is not considered as a form of hybrid finance? See, hybrid warrants are a part of it. I cannot give you shares right now, but I can assure that I can give it to you in future. They're called warrants. Then we have the area of corporate bonds is basically a kind of loan, pure loan. So I think this cannot be the one. But let's look at the other options as well. Convertible debentures. The debentures which can be freely converted into equity later on. And last is preference capital. Preference share capital is also a part of it. So answer is corporate bond. This is pure loan. Nothing else, everyone. When we talk about pure loan, it's a corporate bond. Next point. चलिए let's look at this. When we talk about what characteristics distinguishes equity from debt, but the equity is all ownership. Debt is not ownership. It is like you an outsider, you give loan to someone. That's your amount. You know. Equity holders have a fixed claim on cash flows. Equity holders have a fixed claim? No, their money keeps on changing. Their amount just keeps on changing every single day. You know? Then next part, equity and debt have a different sort of things. Uh, Debt holders have a managerial control over the company. No, they do not have it. They are just people who are outsiders who have given the loan. If they are getting the loan back, they cannot raise a point. You know? Then comes equity represents investments by promoters and investors. Indeed, it represents that, but debt reflects residual claim. They never get the residual claim. It's actually the equity who gets a residual claim. So I think if I'll go for the answer would be C. This represents the promoters and the investors, the people who are putting their money or ownership into the business. Done? Okay, next question. Uh, when we talk about this specific area altogether, everyone, what is the primary feature of convertible debentures? Do you know what you mean by convertible? Convertible means that kind of debentures which can be converted into something else. That means if I talk about the term convertible, convertible can be stated as something which is a debenture, and you get an option from the company itself to convert it into equity. You can become a shareholder. Fixed rate of dividend is there, managerial control over the company is there, ability to convert into equity shares is there, or predetermined claim on the company assets. They have a claim already. Every debenture has. Fixed rate of dividend, they do not get dividend, they get interest. Managerial control, they never get it. The last answer is ability to convert into equity. What they can actually put is they can put a nominee director just to make sure that one particular person is always overlooking how the debenture money they have given is being used by the organization, but they can never raise a question against him. So in this case, they have the ability to convert into equity. Everyone, subscribe to our channel if you haven't done it yet, because this particular channel is offering a lot of things for the JIB and CIB aspirants. So please help us in growth, and then at the same time always keep an eye on the updates that we are putting on, because everything is here for you. Okay, next question. What is the characteristics advantage of advantage of hybrid securities? Lower yield compared to traditional? No. Um, Basically we want more returns than the present one, so we just don't want the debts that way. Higher yield compared to traditional returns, that can be the point. Higher volatility in the market, are they unstable in the market? Or limited risk diversification. When we diversify risk, it is to be considered that we are reducing the level of risk by putting it into different stocks. In this case, higher yield compared to traditional yield debt securities. What type of securities offer are guaranteed dividend and higher priority claim on the company's income and assets? Warrants, convertible debentures, preference shares, or foreign currency convertible bonds? What type of securities offer a guaranteed dividend? Guaranteed dividend is for the pakka. This is the amount of dividend that can be given. High priority claim. High priority claim means these people are given claim. They're given this much of importance. If their money is not given, the company can die. That is our lenders. The lenders play such an important role, na. What type of securities offer? Acha, guaranteed dividend, na. I'm sorry, I was thinking about debts. A high priority claim in terms of liquidation. Acha, this is income and assets. Dividend is guaranteed only to preference shares, not to equity. They are scavengers. And even the high priority claim for income and assets, it is also covered in this area. So in this case, the answer is preference shares. What is the primary purpose of hybrid securities? To offer low returns to investors, to increase market price volatility, to provide a blend of characteristics from both debt and equity, or to limit the risk diversification. Everyone, primary purpose of securities is actually we are trying to come out of that specific area, that we don't want to be in that stagnation of debt, and we don't want to take the risk of equity, so we want to blend in with specific area of both. So I think I'll go for C there. This is the area where we talk about equity as well as debt. Chale, let's talk about the next question. What is the primary advantage of preference shareholders in the event of liquidation? If the company is dying, then these people have two kinds of importances. If I talk about the preference shareholders, they can be stated as someone who are getting money from the business at 2 points. Number one, they have a specified dividend. Their money will be given to them by hook or by crook. In every situation, their money is always assured. Especially there's a particular kind of dividend which is given on preference shares called cumulative preference shares. If the company is dying, even if it has faced losses or something, once they start making money, these are the first people they will pay. And then preference, then at the time of liquidation, when the company is dying, these people are given a lot of importance before equity, so they are settled before them. So these are the primary two advantages. So let's find out what is the advantage given in this particular question as well. They have a legal claim to receive the dividend. They have a priority over creditors in pushing the company into bankruptcy. They receive everything before equity shareholders, or they have a priority over all the classes of preferences. The primary advantage of preference shareholders, I think the more primary advantage is they have priority even at the time of liquidation as well, because the rest everything has a little flaw in the point there, but this one is absolutely correct. Next point, what gives the preference shareholders an edge in the restructuring of the financial struggling company? Their legal claim to receive the dividend, their ability to push the company into bankruptcy, their prior claim in the liquidation process, or their lack of voting rights. What gives the preference shareholders an edge in the restructuring of financially struggling company? Hmm. Preference shareholders have an edge because when the company is dying, their money is before equity. Equity will have a problem, but they won't. So this part, that their lack of voting rights, it doesn't matter when the company is dying. The prior claim of the liquidation, the ability to push the company into bankruptcy, or their legal claim to dividend receive. The point is they have a prior claim in terms of liquidation. The point remains the same, that if the company is dying, they will be paid. Though normally this liquidation means nobody gets the money. Even the lenders will have to compromise and get settled with a lesser amount of money. That's the truth. According to Section 43 of the Companies Act 2013, what does preference share capital entitled shareholders to? To participate in dividends, only to participate in surplus, both the right to fixed dividend and participation in surplus on winding up, or neither of these. We have just talked about it in the form of a question right now. These are different types of share preference shares. In this case, the answer is both the right to fixed dividend and participation in surplus. Done? The answer is C. Chale. According to the section here, if I talk about according to section 47 of the Companies Act, what right do preference shareholders gain if dividends are unpaid for 2 years or more? Whereas preference shareholders have the right to receive dividend, but this is one thing that they have stated that right to initiate legal action against the company, right to convert their preference shares into equity, right to vote on all resolutions. They do not get vote valichees for everything. And the last is right to demand immediate redemption of their preference shares. The preference shares are normally redeemed by maximum the time period of 20 years. That's one rule. two or uh, 2 years or more. What right do preference shareholders gain if the dividends are unpaid? If the dividends are unpaid, what are the rights that these people have? I think if I look at this entire area, now these people, if the company fails to pay dividend for consecutively 2 years, then these people get the right. They get the right to vote, which is exclusively get for equity. That is given to them because normally the right to vote is not for them on a normal basis, but in this case it is there. Okay, done. Which type of preference shares are prohibited from being issued according to section 55? First is redeemable preference shares. Number two is cumulative preference shares, participating or redeemable. Redeemable means the ones which have to be paid off. Paid off. Cumulative means where you accumulate the dividend. You get it together, you utilize it. Done. Participating preference shares. Participating preference shares means the preference shares which are related to the area of they get the surplus in terms of their dividend. And then irredeemable preference shares. Irredeemable means the ones which are not to be paid off throughout the life of that business. This doesn't happen. So when we take the irredeemable preference shares, these are not allowed. Maximum time period to issue the preference shares is for 20 years. In terms of infrastructure, it goes up to 30, but normally it is maximum by 20 years. You have to you have to make sure that the payment is cleared by the next 20 years. We are not allowed to issue the debentures which cannot be paid off. Preference shares which cannot be paid off in due time. Okay? It plays a very, very important role. That if you have taken money from the debenture, from the preference shareholders, you have to return it back to them. Done? So this is the scenario regarding the irredeemable preference shares. There are many different types of preference shares and they vary from, they keep on changing. Chaliye. Now let's talk about our website as well, everyone. Before I end my session, because our course is going on, you can head on to our specific area and open up our website. Let's look at our website, everyone. www.adda247.com. Go on to the area of JIB and CIB. Go on to the specific area of CIB June 2024, and here you will find our Mahapack. Please go ahead and check out our Mahapack right away. It is available at 80% discount. This is always for a very limited period, so if you're planning, then you should not be looking forward to it at all. Acha, the sale, this if you can apply this, you will get 79% discount. That means 79%, and you can get 1% more. You can get it for around 6500 there, है ना? By utilizing this specific code by 541, you can get it for 79% and double validity, 6 plus 6 months. Here you get English medium bilingual test series, mini marathon, maha marathon, as well as our test series and ebooks, everything included. So if you are planning this, check it out on our website and our app for further details. Make sure you are grabbing this particular offer right away, as the offer would be ending soon. So you should get it right away, everyone. Thank you so much for being there. We'll be meeting in the next session. Take care.